Hello, welcome in or welcome back to my channel. My name is Deb from DG Reads and I'm here for my Romantasy Bingo TBR. Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy has put together a bingo board in the style of our fantasy that has 25 different Romantasy related prompts, and they come in regular mode and hard mode. And when I first heard that she was putting this together, I didn't really think, you know what, that's for me. But as I was looking through the prompts, I realized I do have a lot more Romantasy and Romantasy leaning and Romantasy adjacent books on my shelves than I always think I do. So while I am not going to be aiming to hit hard mode on all of these prompts, I am going to try to pull from books already on my TBR or on my radar or on my shelves to put together a really great TBR. That's the goal. So let's go ahead and get into it and see what I plan on reading. Starting in row 1, right off the bat, we have a new release. And this is one that I decided to put on an upcoming release because I know I will be reading it when it's newly out. And that is The Ballad of Falling Dragons by Sarah A. Parker. I absolutely loved the first book, When the Moon Hatched, and the world building here was great. The romance was good. I had a lot of fun reading this one. It's not a small book. I assume book 2 is going to be rather chunky as well. This is set in a world where we have dragons. Our main character is an assassin for the rebellion. Our male main character has lost his love, and the ties between them and the relationship that develops are all strongly a part of the plot, so I look forward to seeing where book 2 takes it. The second prompt is for someone with a hidden identity, and I'm going with a guess on this one and putting on Silvercloak by L.K. Stephen. This one, we have a main character who's infiltrating a group, and therefore it would seem that to infiltrate, she needs a hidden identity. That's the theory I'm going with. I don't know how long this lasts because it does say she does get discovered, but that's the theory that I'm going with. But according to the synopsis, our main character is an obsessive detective who infiltrates a gang of mages. For the next prompt, which is Take Down the System, this one I will be hitting hard mode because that is a dystopian read, and I'm really looking forward to Broken Dove. I loved book 1, so really excited to see what book 2 does. For the BIPOC author square, this is another one where I will be hitting hard mode with flowers on the cover, but I'm going to be picking up Our Vicious Oaths by N.E. Davenport. This is an author I've really enjoyed in the past. I really loved The Blood Trials, so I'm curious to see how it's going to work for me in more of a strictly Romantasy setting. This one, we are following a warrior princess as she's forced into an alliance with a vengeful king. And the final square on this row is for a first-person POV, and hard mode for this one is pretty easy to find a new-to-you author. And for this one, I have A Treachery of Swans by A.B. Poranek. This is not an author I've read from before. This is an Illumicrate edition, very pretty, and from what I've read and what I saw just flipping through real quickly, this is in the first person. Magic is outlawed in this world, but our main character Odile has magic. She's been raised by a sorcerer, and she's always known she's been destined to restore magic to the world. Moving on down to row number 2, we've got Blank of Blank, a very popular title structure in fantasy and general romance, etc. But for this one, I'm going to put on Air of Storms by Lauren Hamilton Murray. This is one that is a YA from Fairy Loot, and it sounds really interesting. We are following a girl who is born with rain powers, but she's born into a family with fire powers. But then she and her brother get put into trials. Always love good trials. I'm assuming there's going to be a romance developing somewhere along the lines. The synopsis doesn't say it. Like I said, I'm going to be pulling books that are Romantasy adjacent, but this one does get listed as YA fantasy romance, so I'm assuming there will be romance. The next square is for books in the indie to traditionally published pipeline, and the one that I picked for this one is a highly anticipated read for me. I can't believe I haven't gotten to it yet, but at the same time, we don't have book 4 yet, so that's partially why I haven't gotten to it yet. But Heat of the Everflame is book 3 in the Kindred's Curse saga, and this is by Penn Cole, and it is not a small read. It is one that I'm super excited for, and I can't wait to get news of when we're getting book 4. I know she's still working on it, but I'm assuming we should get something maybe next year, maybe, kind of, sort of. So it's getting to be time to read this one. For the next square, Representation Matters, I'm going to be putting on Sorcery and Small Magics by Maiga Ducey. This is a queer fantasy romance. It sounds like it's a cozy-ish in some ways, but also stakes on the line. So I'm curious to check this one out. This is a Fairy Loot edition, and of course, very pretty. I have a prompt to start a new series, which is never a problem. I'm constantly starting new series. The hard mode for this one, which I will will be hitting is for an author that writes in multiple genres. And the book I'm putting on here is The Floating World by Axie O. This is an author who also writes contemporary romance, I believe. So I think this one definitely counts for both. Again, another really stunning edition. Sounds like we're following two different characters on separate quests, which are going to overlap and combine. We've got magic, we've got romance, what's not to love? And then for the final spot on this row, the prompt is for an urban setting and hard mode not of this world. This is one that I am taking a tip from Monica on Monica's Shelves, and she put the sequel to this one on. I have not read the first book, so I will be reading The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle. This is a urban setting. I believe she said it worked for hard mode, so I am definitely looking forward to checking this one out. It definitely has an urban setting sprayed edge going on the Fairy Loot edition. Moving on to the third row, we've got Ghosts and Ghouls, and this one is one that I struggled with a little bit more than I thought. I did take some inspiration on this one from Monica on Monica's Shelves because she mentioned Ghostsmith by Nikki Pau Preto, and this is the sequel to Bonesmith. Since Ghost is in the title, I'm just rolling with it. That's what I'm currently putting in here, but if I come up with something better, I might switch it out. Ghost is in the title, so I'm assuming that's going to be a prevalent part of the story, and so I'm going with it. For a voice inside her head, and hard mode for this is not an animal, which I am definitely hitting with this. I'm going to be reading Brimstone by Callie Hart. I just recently reread Quicksilver by Callie Hart, had a fantastic time with it again. I'm really looking forward to the sequel being released very soon. Actually, probably before you see this video, it will already be out, and I probably will already be reading it. For the Central Friend Rec Square, with hard mode being a recommendation from Cassidy, I'm stretching things a little bit and putting The Sea Spinner by Julie Johnson on here. I definitely picked up the first book, Windweaver, based on Cassidy's recommendation, so I think the sequel works for this quite well. For Book Talk hype, I struggle because I'm not on Book Talk. I don't want to be on Book Talk. I think TikTok would probably really distract from my reading, but I'm taking this one from Mel at Melnor Reads and her TBR because she mentioned The Ascended, and this is by Bree Greenrich and Parker Lennox, and I really enjoyed what I've read from them in the past, and this one sounds really good as well. It's apparently very hyped on TikTok, so I will be picking this one up. And then the final spot on this row is Forbidden Romance, and hard mode for this is not Enemies to Lover, which I'm definitely failing at because I am planning to read Cruel is the Light by Sophie Clark. This is one that I received from Fairy Loot, and all I really know about it is indeed Enemies to Lovers. This is set against a backdrop of a war between demons and humanity, and it sounds like it could be a really dark, interesting time. Moving on to the next row, we have a Trials prompt with the hard mode being an academic setting, and I do have that. I just received a copy of The Ordeals from Delacorte Press, and the timing could not have been more perfect. In this one, there is a magic competition for a spot in an academy, so I think this definitely works for that, and it's just a pretty book. For regular mode, for the 2+ love interests, I have the Nightblood Prince by Molly X. Chang. This one I understand to have a love triangle in it, so definitely works for that. This is another Fairy Loot edition. Fairy Loot and Illumicrate are carrying me with this bingo board. We have a curse disguised as prophecy, two dangerous princes vying for her heart. For the next prompt, it's to have a single POV, and I am doing this based on what I recall from book 1, but I think The Things Gods Break by Abigail Owen should work for this. This is the sequel to The Games Gods Play, and one I have been super excited for since I read the first book. It had really fun trials, and this one I gather does have some additional trials going on in it, so that has me even more excited. For the court settings prompt, I have The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson. I was having to research this one a little bit, and this one does mention that she does go to a court setting and has interactions there, so I'm assuming it's a significant enough part of the plot to count for this prompt. And then the final prompt on this row is a portal book, A Whole New World, so going through a portal into something different, and hard mode for this one is that it be a retelling. And I think I'm hitting both with this book. I have Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. My understanding is this is a Snow White retelling. Also, there's a mirror, and one of the characters goes through the mirror to the other side, so I think that definitely counts as the mirror being a portal. And for our final row, we have Reluctant Allies to Lovers, and for that one, I'm going with The Knight and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This is following a diviner, and she has to make an alliance with a knight who is not the best guy. She doesn't think at the beginning, I gather. And this is necessary because fellow diviners are beginning to die and they need to figure it out. All I know is a lot of people have been loving this and I'm super, super excited to get to it. For a one-word title, I have Voidwalker by S.A. McLean. This is one that honestly is stunning and I've been really wanting to get to. We're following a smuggler. She is part of a rebellion or is being hired on as part of a rebellion. I'm not entirely sure. And things get dark. She winds up meeting someone who is one of the monsters. There's maybe a forbidden romance element to it. I'm not sure, but whatever it is, I do want to get to this one. For a shifter romance, I have Court of Lies and Deceit by Marianne Blackwood. This is book 3 in a series where there are dragon shifters who kind of control the Fae world, and I wasn't 100% sold on book 2. I really enjoyed book 1. The tension and drama kind of dipped for me in book 2, but the way book 2 ended, and I've heard a few people say they really, really loved book 3, and I think that I will continue on. This is one of the series that is on my Herkid challenge to finish, and I was debating DNFing the series until at least the audiobooks come out, but I think the audiobook for book 3 is due out pretty soon from things I've seen, so I probably will be picking it up. For weapons on the cover, I've got Wrath of the Dragons by Olivia Rose Darling. This is a copy I was gifted by Delacorte Press. This is book 2 in a series and one that I enjoyed the first book. I didn't fall in love with it, but I do want to continue on. We've got dragons, we've got warring kingdoms, we have romance. There's a little bit of everything in here, so I do want to continue on. And then lastly, we have a chunky series, so a series that has 4 or more books in it, and hard mode that it be interconnected with another one, which I will be hitting with this one. This is a book that has been recommended multiple times for me to try, and it is Reign of Shadows and Endings by Melissa K. Rourke. I really, really enjoyed her other series, which does have some interconnections with this one, so it is one that I definitely have been wanting to pick up. So now is the perfect excuse to slot it into a TBR and make myself do it. So let me know, are you participating in this reading challenge? Have you put together your own bingo? Do you have any suggestions for any of these squares where maybe a book would have worked better than something I picked? Have you read any of the books I read? Let me know all the things in the comments below. And if you've made it this far and you don't have anything to comment, leave me a heart emoji for the whole romance aspect of this bingo board. If you could hit that like button below, I would surely appreciate it. And subscribe if you're interested in my romantasy explorations, my thoughts on some of these books, and my bookish content in general. But for now, I'll leave you here and see you real soon in a new video.